It's so wonderful to be here with all of you tonight. And I think this is a moment when we have to say to all of our Latino leaders that we have to use all of our experience that we have, our vision, our leadership, to really combat the ills that have just been mentioned just a moment ago. And one of these, of course, that comes from slavery, and as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, slavery is an illness, no? And we have to cure it. And one of the ways that we can cure this is just to remember that we are one human race, Homo sapiens, okay? And please take this home to your families and to everybody you know, that Homo sapiens, our human race, began in Africa. Africa. And we have to remember this and spread this, okay? Because a lot of people are scientifically challenged, as we know, okay? And we can say to everyone, you know, we are all Africans of different shades and colors, okay? So I would like to ask you to take the hand of the person next to you. Take the hand of the person next to you. And say to that person, hello, African relative. And if we can remember this, that our human race on planet Earth, we had to share what we had with each other. We had to protect each other. Okay, we had to care for each other, and that's why we survived, because the biggest mammals would have had us for lunch, okay? But they didn't, because we were there taking care of each other. And this is what we have to do going forward. And we have to come together to erase the illiteracy that exists, of course, the poverty, the ignorance, the greed that exists. You know, one of the legacies of slavery is that somehow some people have to work all of their lives to make other people rich, okay? You know, and that this is okay. Well, we have to say this is not okay. There is no reason why we should have people that are homeless and sleeping on sidewalks in our cities. And we know that one of the problems that we have is that in the United States of America, where we do not have free college education, free health care, free daycare, like they have in other countries, like in Scandinavia, okay? We are the richest country in the world. But unfortunately, 90% of the wealth in the United States is in the hands of 10% of the corporations and wealthy families, okay? And we know they don't pay their taxes. They don't pay their taxes, okay? So we have to change this. And one more thing, Coretta Scott King, when we were traveling together when she was trying to get the King holiday, said to me, you know, Dolores, she said, we will never have peace in the world until women take power. Well, I changed the slogan because we know that not all women are feminists, right? Yeah, but we know that the men in this room are all feminists. Let's give them an applause. Let's give them an applause, okay? So we have to say that we will never have peace in the world until feminists take power, right? Feminists take power. But then the other thing we all have to work on is we have to get the Equal Rights Amendment for women. We do not have it. It has to be in our Constitution. Right now, it's in the Congress. And maybe by the next Congress, if we all get out there and work really, really hard on the elections, we can get the ERA for women. Okay, everybody, let's do it. So, we know we are on the verge of fascism here in our country. And we know that we have to fight very hard. And we might say, not in the United States, yes. We have more people in prison in the United States of America than any other country. Like, you know, when you think of India or China, they have billions of people, that the populations, and we have more people in prison than those countries. Fascism is here. They're coming into our schools. They're banning books. They don't want to know the history of Cesar Chavez, no? Okay, so we have to work very hard. That means we have to go all out, you know, everybody on board, do everything that we can to make sure that we stop fascism and that we erase the legacy of slavery and we know that we can do it. We can do it. So I'm going to ask you all to stand up for a second. And I'm going to ask you all a question, and I know you know the answer. And the first question I'm going to say to all of the Latino leaders, okay? I'm going to ask you, do we have the power? And I want you to answer, yes, we have the power. And then I'm going to ask you what kind of power, and I want you to say Latino power, all right? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. And shout it really loud so all the haters can hear us. All the haters out there, we know who they are, okay? So let's go. Who's got the power?
We have the power!
What kind of power?
Latino power!
We're going to go out there and use our power to say fascism, to end racism, to end homophobia, sexism, etc. What do we say? ¿Se puede o no se puede?
Sí se puede!
Let's all do it together with an organized clap. Let's go. Sí se